What's up, guys? My name is Jomel,
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
and we are the Wannabe Boo podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for lifeu. This is episode 41.
41 years old, going straight into fucking level 60, yo.
Speaking of old, can you believe it, John? We're essentially 11 weeks left until our first fully our first year, our anniversary, pretty much.
You're right. Oh shit, you're right. Fuck, when did we start?
I think we started in February. February something. That was our first pilot episode.
Yeah.
Because
Oh man.
we technically counted the pilot as the first one, right?
No, we didn't.
Oh, we did.
Remember,
Okay, so
we kept having a problem with that at the beginning.
right.
For the first 20 episodes, we kept 18, 19, one of those.
So should we do we want to make the pilot episode our anniversary, or the actual episode 1?
What do you mean?
So in week because in week 52, well, technically by episode 51 that would be our full year, because since we didn't count the pilot as our first episode, that's the first official thing, and that's technically week 1.
Right.
And so in our case right now, week 51 would be a year. So should we do it then, or actually do week or episode 52 be the actual anniversary of the Wannabe Boo cast, or the Wannabe Boo podcast?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I feel like it should be the exact same day
as the pilot, or the first one?
As the pilot.
You know what? I think so. Because I mean that was the first thing we ever put out, so why not celebrate it, right?
Right.
So we just gotta. I mean, we get 11 weeks, so we gotta figure out what we want to do for that. Maybe get drunk or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm down for that.
So we'll have to see. But we still have 11 weeks. Hopefully, if you guys, for those of you who have been with us since the beginning, get ready for some year anniversary.
Something. We're gonna do something. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be entertaining. Hopefully. We might. If you guys noticed, we've been trying to keep the podcast down to about an hour, maybe a little bit over. But if we're getting drunk that day, it's probably going to be a little longer.
Probably. I probably wouldn't even know if we're still recording. I don't know if I'll be able to stop the recording on time.
Right. So hopefully I don't know, Jomel's computer doesn't fucking fill with our bullshit just going on for 5 hours. You don't have to watch the whole 5 hours. Just
I mean, you know what? I might as well just release the whole 5 hours, and then you can just take your bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Until it's just dead silence.
Oh, it'll happen.
Oh man, but we got a lot to talk about today. Sort of. A lot of news.
A lot of video game news in particular.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in the Chicagoland area. But
yeah.
I want you to start things off.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is kind of a bit of a hot topic right now with the Blizzard community.
Oh yes.
Diablo, the next Diablo title is coming out on mobile, if you didn't hear. And Diablo fans are fucking pissed.
Everywhere. Reddit.
Everywhere.
4chan, Twitter. Jesus Christ.
Fucking MySpace. God, it's everywhere.
Okay, so the thing is, I didn't watch the press conference. I didn't watch any of it. I found this out because of so many people just not bashing, but they were just upset.
Oh yeah.
What actually happened?
So it has been a while since Diablo has had any kind of update. I think their last one was an expansion for Diablo. I think sometime last year, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember. So it's been a really long fucking time, and it's about time for a fourth one or some kind of announcement, right?
Right.
And the main problem that people are having now, a lot of people get this wrong. People think a lot of people are having a problem with the fact that it's on mobile. That they announced Diablo Immortal for mobile. That's not necessarily the problem. The problem is that instead of the next chapter of the Diablo series, for because again, mainly PC thing, and if you, it's just not there hasn't been another core franchise update and this was supposed to be that
Like Diablo
that one
4.
or Diablo 4. Fun fact about that in a second. It was supposed to be about Diablo 4, but then they decided to announce the mobile version, which no one really cares about. Like if you've ever any gamer, or I guess I should say most gamers these days, because there's a lot of them more switching over to mobile. All right,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not that many.
Well, I mean, there's a lot in China. I know that.
Yeah, older gamers, I should say, don't give a shit about what's going on the mobile side of the video game world
That's true. I mean,
because yes, everyone has a phone, but no one, it doesn't. There's a limit to how far you can take a mobile game. I mean, people are pushing the boundary every day, but like it'll never be seen as good as anything on PC or on console.
I think, and it's more so just the experience of it, isn't it?
Right. It's limited to the touch screen, and touch screen can again also only take you so far. So that's the main reason people are upset. Not so much that, oh, hey, they made a game and it's mobile.
The
They're
thing,
mad because they've been
yeah,
waiting for a game to come out for PC, but they put one on mobile.
yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, they've been waiting for it, and it's just mobile.
Right.
Like I don't think I probably wouldn't think they even have. I think it would have been like not as bad if they had the option for it to be, if it was if Immortal was like a next title for mobile as well as like PC maybe. I
Right.
don't know.
If right, if that was the case, that would have been perfect because people that wanted to get into the Diablo series but didn't have a computer that could play it or a console to play it, download on your phone, try it out. Maybe that'll give you a reason to, jump into the later series, and then you can also play it online or on computer.
Yeah, exactly. Because the way
But
it seems like they're just catering to just like the mobile sphere.
well, they're trying. Any business is trying to expand their reach, so I
Right.
understand it on a business side, but I feel like it was just tone deaf, and it wasn't a good time to announce that.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the fun fact that I wanted to state, they were going to announce Diablo 4,
Oh,
but they
really?
pulled it last. They pulled it last second for
Why?
some reason. I have no idea.
Well, is this like a confirmed like rumor or something, or like
It is. They themselves were. Yeah. It was a. Yeah. This is a confirmed rumor that they
really?
were going to announce it, but they pulled the
They just pulled the
announcement back last minute.
really.
Yeah. So
Um.
it's coming out at some point.
So like it's like it exists pretty much. Like
Yeah.
they confirmed that Diablo 4 exists to some degree, but just we don't have any more information on it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah. That's
Huh.
basically it.
I guess that's some good news to get some cushion on after
Yeah.
the whole fiasco.
Right. But I certainly understand everyone's anger. It might be a bit much anger, bit too much anger, but I certainly understand why people would be upset about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like if like what is it? It's kind of like if Bethesda just announced that the mobile Skyrim and they didn't do the whole like Elder Scrolls teaser. Like it was
Yeah.
just if they just did the whole Skyrim mobile.
Oh yeah, no, people would have been fucking upset.
Okay. So that opened up a little bit because I mean, I didn't necessarily I knew about the backlash, the whole upside and all that. I just didn't know the specifics and details. I thought people were just genuinely upset about it being like a mobile game, like just a mobile game and all that.
Right. But speaking of butthurt people, Jomel,
What?
there's something Chicago's doing.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually took the time out of all the other news. I've actually took the time to look into this
Uh,
since it affects me than you, since you live in Alabama.
right.
As of I believe it's as of even as of this recording, the Chicagoland area is going to be doing a 9% entertainment tax, on all the PSN related purchases.
That's so fucking dumb.
And I am so upset about this entire situation because, okay, I don't even know. I don't even have words to like really, really like calmly put this down. But like, I don't know why. I obviously there's a reason why Chicago is doing this. The county itself is poor as shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they gotta find ways to tax it, whether it's like cameras already gone, so it's either going to be more paid parking, paid parking, and the whole soda tax thing failed. So they're pretty much they're gonna go along with an entertainment tax. That's gonna be 9% on top of like the purchases you make on your PSN account, which is like PSN, View, any kind of like paid service that Sony provides on your PlayStation or your account, pretty much.
But why?
You know, I don't necessarily know the exact reason. I mean, I could look up as to see, the official statement in terms of why something like this is even put into a what is it, into consideration. But I mean, like it's like any other kind of like tax situation. Hold on,
I mean, I know why. Like you said, the county needs money, but like, out of everything you could put an extra tax on, this is why goddamn America split up from Europe. Extra fucking taxes and shit. Like people don't like taxes. No one does. It's just kind of our government has set it up as a necessary evil. But like, actually, you know what? From what I remember hearing, now this might be a little unrelated, but I remember hearing that they might have been doing this same thing across all states. This was some time ago. I don't remember what the source was, so I'm probably wrong. But they said that the reason why they were doing this, one, it was supposed to be across all consoles and stuff like that. But the reason why they were doing it is not because the game company themselves, like Sony or Microsoft, is doing it, but they're being forced to by the state to do it. But I don't know. I don't really know outside of that. That's just kind of like, I don't know, my own assumption.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking into this, and it's just part of a process. Like, it's just updated tax laws that now involve, like, well, specifically in this case, PlayStation Plus.
But like, how much is the tax though? I know
9%.
So let me see. PSN is like what? Is that $10 a month? $15 a month?
It ranges from 10.25 and 10.25 and 80, if I remember. Either 80 or 100. Because there's the 1 month, 3 month, and year.
Right. All right, so that's about maybe a little under, a little over $1. But still, that adds up.
No, yeah, it does. And just looking at this, the official date that this tax the new tax laws will be applied to will be on November 14th. So
fucking 3 days.
Pretty much 3 days after this podcast comes out.
Get fucking shit on, Illinois. What the fuck?
You know what? I think I may just have to register my PSN account outside of Cook County at this point.
I mean,
they can't track me down.
Honestly, maybe not, because people can get fucking Korean social security numbers just to play Korean MMO. So fucking, you never know what's possible.
I know exactly, and this is gonna be on top of Chicago's already now 10.25% sales tax.
Right.
So what it'll be like it'll be 19% tax on top. And in general, if you ever get anything on PSN if you're within the Chicagoland area or Cook County. So, Jesus Christ. I'm still trying to find the reason, reasons for this. But it's all just because it's an updated tax. It's an updated tax law in Cook County.
Oh yeah,
and
so
it's just
fault.
And it's affecting. It just happens to affect video games at this point.
I mean, I don't know. I know people are gonna be outraged, but I don't know how effective that outrage is gonna be. I'm hoping,
I
you
mean,
know,
it
some
affected
people.
it did affect the sugar tax over here.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, like it wasn't even a full year. That thing was like 3 months in, and people were pretty much open about that, and it was pretty much cut after 3 months.
That's true, but sugar's a bit more, a bit more wider in popularity than video games.
That's true.
Believe it or not.
I mean, I'm no tax expert. All I know is that if you live in the Chicagoland area and you listen to this, you're gonna be paying a little bit more for your video games on your PSN account. If you go digital.
Right.
So, plus that's also gonna affect the membership too. So,
Right. That's true.
man,
Wait, so is that gonna count for like?
it counts for like any, at least for PlayStation related. It accounts for the PlayStation Now, View, what else? What else did I say? It was Now, View. Sorry for a minute. I'm trying to look for the image for that.
My question I was gonna ask is like it affects
Plus,
online for PlayStation, but does it like affect the online for everything else, like fucking Steam and shit
uh,
like that,
well, I haven't
or is
seen
it
any.
different?
From what I can tell right now, PlayStation is the only one giving out this announcement, because this was a public announcement that Sony made
Hmm.
on like the PlayStation site. So I haven't actually checked to see if Steam or Microsoft or have made this kind of update as well. Because so far it's only been Sony
Hmm.
that gave out this public statement to.
No, I feel like that. Yeah, definitely more people would be talking about it if it was everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's right now, it seemed like only Sony or PlayStation is the one that's being uh put under the
Getting
entertainment
picked on.
tax, pretty
Right.
much. Because
Entertainment tax. What the fuck?
I think it's time for me to change my billing address to a friend of mine's.
I mean,
Because apparently it's going to affect customers with billing addresses within the city of Chicago. So
I guess that would be a workaround.
yeah, no, exactly. So how can they prove that I'm like I'm committing tax evasion at this point? Maybe, I don't know.
I
I'm
mean, you're
I'm not
saying
public.
it now.
I'm not publicly admitting it to the internet. No, of course not. I'm
I
not.
guess.
I'm not providing any kind of. I'm not self-incriminating myself. I
Uh,
plead the fifth. I will have to speak to a lawyer. So yeah, y'all can't get me for that.
fair enough.
But in other lighter news, I guess maybe depends how you take this. Recently, this was in August in Japan. Was it in what is this? Oh, when was this? November 4th. So on November 4th, 2018, a Japanese man had finally fulfilled his dream by marrying the woman of his life.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And this woman of his life happens to be a doll version of Vocaloid star Hatsune Miku.
Oh man.
I mean I mean the headline for this article is a 35-year-old man from Japan tied the knot with a doll in the likeness of virtual star Hatsune Miku. As for the happy bridegroom, Akihiko Kondo found solace and inspiration in the countless songs made for the virtual diva, led him to fall hard for the virtual singer, and announced his intent to marry Miku through Twitter posts made on August 18th. And fast forward to the present, Kondo made his dream come true on November 4th with a full wedding ceremony complete with guests and a blushing bride in the form of a Miku doll wearing a white wedding dress.
I mean, but like,
Ceremony,
what guests though?
I don't
Like,
know. I
who were
mean,
these people that came? Were it other otakus?
I can assume so. Apparently, the ceremony was small and intimate affair with just 39 guests, and 39 being the Miku's like that's her number because Miku does translate directly to 39.
Right.
And apparently these included relatives, friends, and Japanese Parliament member Taro Yamada and Assemblyman Igano Otako, who each shared snapshots of the event through tweets on the same day.
What the fuck? Yo.
What? And
I
what?
actually just rolled up on some pictures of the wedding on Facebook.
Oh, really? So,
Oh,
what led to the unusual union? Apparently, Kondo had trouble interacting with women due to a traumatizing experience at work. And 10 years ago, Kondo was on the receiving end of workplace bullying by female superiors. The experience scared him to the point that he lost trust in women in general. He was
yeah.
also suspended from work as a result, reports Annalad. During these unhappy moments of his life, he found the sweet voice in the virtual singer comforting, in which led him to develop a romantic connection to the character. Over the years, Kondo accumulated a large collection of Miku merchandise, including a hologram gadget called Gatebox, which
Yep.
projects an interactive Miku hologram.
Mhm.
Whatever reactions or criticisms Kondo will get for the decision, for the time being, it appeared the man couldn't be happier at this point in his life. So
See, this is why I don't understand how the patriarchy became a thing. If women can do this to a man,
exactly, and I'm
and
not, and I'm not talking about this news to make fun or spite Kondo. Now I'm actually kind of happy for him because this I mean, looking at the pictures, he seems like it's like the article said. This man is about the happiest he can be by marrying like Miko in the sense.
so like, does this mean it's official, or is that gonna be on the Wikipedia? Married to a man named.
I mean, it's gonna be on his wedding registry, yeah, of course.
I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
I mean, not too long ago. This reminds me of a story not too long ago when somebody married a character from what their DS, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm someone that likes to believe in strive for your own happiness,
Look,
whether it's one way or another. But only God can judge us for our decisions, and as long
and
as you're
I guess
happy.
I'm God right now.
I mean, come on, Gerard. The man's gone through a lot, and he was able to marry the woman in his life, and the Japanese Parliament. One of the members of the Japanese Parliament attended this wedding, as well as an assemblyman.
Look, I can't say anything because I told myself if by like age 40, 45, I'm still fucking lonely as shit, I'm gonna buy myself like a sex robot and just have that for the rest of my life. So I can't judge him,
Right.
but it's just like it was more of it's that my case is more of a last resort. And I mean, granted, he has reason to because he had the trauma. I get that.
Right.
You know, it's just like I don't. Uh, that's just again last resort kind of thing. He's still like fucking. He looks like he's still in his 30s or
No,
20s.
no, he's 35. He's 35. It's stated
All
in the
right, he's
article.
getting up there. Fair enough. He's running out of options. I got you. No,
I mean, he was
I
able to.
shouldn't judge him. He is happy. You're right.
I mean, looking at the wedding photos, this is sort of like, okay, it's sad in a sense, but like you can't deny that this guy is like living his life right now,
You're
regardless
right.
of the regardless of how skewed the whole situation seems to be.
Yeah.
Cause like he even has a little, he's like he cut the cake with her, he lit the little candle thing, and like he's sharing champagne, and apparently a lot of people started making fan art of the couple.
Yeah, I saw in actually one of the wedding photos is a picture of him and Mika
Mm-hmm.
that someone drew.
And I mean, let's face it, John. The world is unique and weird, and
Yep,
if you
that it
know
is.
if you can't laugh or if you can't laugh at or laugh or just go through tough times with a smiling face, then I mean, what else do you have to live for?
You're right. You're
So
right.
I mean, November 4th will be the day that this man was the happiest, and will probably even more happy. Will be more happy as time goes on.
It's just like
I mean, here's some quotes from him. Today, I held a wedding ceremony with Miku. We invited 39 people and held the ceremony seriously. Many blessings through words, messages of support, and cooperation were realized. We would like to express our deepest gratitude to those who supported us.
I
Wow.
just don't know. Like this is like the normie side of my brain
Oh,
talking though,
right.
because like, how would I as a family member feel
I
if
mean,
I heard, "Hey, your fucking cousin's getting married to a fictional character"? And like, how would I feel?
okay, how about this? How about this? What if I, one of your closest friends, were to marry my waifu Mashiro?
I would just endlessly judge you. But I also understand that's the problem. Like that's my own shitty hubris.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I fully understand the reason why someone would do it, but it's still fucking cringy as shit.
Would you attend though? Would you attend my wedding if I were to do something like this?
I mean, I'd have to. You're my best friend.
Mm.
But like, I'd be in the fucking audience, just the fucking rafters, just shaking my head.
This, yeah, probably, and I'm probably, if someone like it, if I mean, I guess I'm endorsing this. If you out there, any listeners, would want to marry your waifu, in anytime in the near future, I would recommend going to Japan, because apparently the reason why this was able to be realized in the full ceremony and everything is because apparently one Japanese company started recognizing the weddings since 2017. So there's a company in Japan that actually legitly does this for you to benefit. To be able to hold a ceremony. It also offers benefits to employees with two-dimensional spouses. Apparently,
What?
yes.
What? That's not real. You know what? Again, the right thing to say here is that if it makes you happy, you should do it. It's not hurting anyone, and you're happy. That so by all means. I just can't help but judge it. I just can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong of me. I'm the bad person here. Don't mix that up. I am the bad person here. It's just goddamn.
and
But
even and even like remember the whole Gatebox thing. Even Gatebox even has like a digital wedding registry for your waifu to be input into its system.
but like, how do you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This is I get. This is just mean. Like, I imagine what I imagine married life to be, but then, obviously other people have their own ideas,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and just
love
something.
love comes in different shapes and forms and even dimensions at this point.
Yeah. I
So
mean, fucking Grape Coon fell in love with a goddamn cardboard cutout of
exactly,
the
Grape Kun is like
fucking
another great example of
character.
that. I mean, bless
So
his soul. I mean,
bless his soul. Yes,
I don't remember if we talked about it, but it's been over a year since his passing.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it.
Yeah, okay, so but just again, bless his soul. Love comes in all different shapes and forms, and I mean, if it's one thing this community specifically is good for, is that we have such a weird way of coming together in like
Yeah,
times of celebration.
yeah. It'll be over the weirdest shit, but we'll be there.
Exactly, we'll support you regardless of what's going on, as long as we know that you're happy.
Right.
We, it's like a brotherhood in a sense,
Right.
an undying brotherhood for each other. I mean, hell,
Which is
I would want to go to Kondo's wedding in this case, just to like witness a miracle in its purest form.
I don't think I'd want to go because I would have nothing but negative thoughts. Like I wouldn't want to ruin the happy atmosphere.
Right.
Like because
Well,
I'm just a piece of shit. So
I mean, we that I guess I can't always work for everybody, but you know,
but like I said, by all means, be happy. But
be happy and do you.
one last bit of news that I wanted to talk about was that just real quick, if you play Warframe, then you probably know that their latest expansion came out called Fortuna, which is essentially their second large open world area in the game. Previous one was the plains of Eidolon on Earth. Fortuna takes place on Venus. You help out some half robot uh, workers as they essentially rebel against their money worshipping overlord.
All
And
right.
you get greeted to a very nice if you remember the song at the beginning Frozen that had no reason to be in that show.
Um, which song?
The one where they were doing the ice stuff.
Like,
They were like mining the ice or whatever.
oh yeah, yeah, the beginning part, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of like
Like a Viking kind of feel to it. I
Yeah,
think
but it's less Viking and more like
space pirate or something
uh,
like a
we live
shanty.
together. You know, it's kind of like a working chant,
Oh, okay.
and the general idea is we all live together
All right.
because they're beefy as fuck.
I mean, Warframe is free. I should probably get back into playing Warframe, to be honest with you.
Warframe's so fucking good. I love that game. I formed a perfect relationship with it, where it's one of those games that you can either pick up and play for an hour or play all day. I love
Mm.
it.
The only thing is your current system can't necessarily handle it
No,
comfortably.
it can handle most of the game.
Most
It
okay.
it it has problems with the open world areas,
Uh huh.
but it's fine if I lower the settings all the way.
There we go. Let's get a.
Otherwise, it does pretty well.
That's good. I definitely should get back into. There's so many things I need to get back into. Warframe being one of them.
Yeah. I'll be your Jedi counselor. You my young Padawan.
Yes, that'll be a world I need. That's a world I need to indulge myself in. But another way, in another way of conforming to different and fantastical worlds.
Yeah.
There's something I wanted to talk about. I mean, this is not something I want to rant about nor want to like dissect too much, but like Isekai anime itself has become a lot more prevalent over the years. I think so, right?
Oh,
Do you
way
think?
more, way more, way more.
Because
Well, actually, you know what? I'm really thinking about it. I don't think its popularity has necessarily changed. Like it's been popular for a very long time.
that's
I feel like
true. But
we never go more than one season without one.
that's true. But I feel like really like recently, there's been a lot more there's been a lot more isekai anime being greenlit. In
Yeah,
general.
that is true.
So, and I mean, I kind of want to I kind of want to talk about like isekai anime in general,
Yeah.
and like okay, this is personally, I don't think there's any bad isekai anime. There's only good ones, and there's like weird ones that kind of go off a rail. Not necessarily bad, but it's just like something that people can't catch on to. Maybe it's bad to you to some degree, but I think that's where I think isekai anime would go to, or at least how it's categorized as for me.
I mean, I would argue if you were to like you said, categorizing them
Mm-hmm.
in a certain way would be good, and then the weird ones, yeah, certainly. But in terms of writing and shit like that, there can be there's those discrepancies, you know.
That's true. Like like most anime, there can be some that have just poor writing or bad writing in general, or
Right,
poor development in terms of story.
right. But yeah, no. I'm glad these days more weird ones are becoming popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for example, this season's that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Like I never even dreamed that this would ever be an actual anime. Like I didn't know about the manga beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
or it's a light novel as well, right? I
Uh,
imagine it is.
it is originally a light novel, if I
Okay, so
remember
yeah,
correctly.
I didn't know about the light novel or anything else about it until the anime, and like I'm absolutely in love with everything about it. I can't get enough.
Yeah, exactly, and like it's also kind of funny how like this slime specifically is becoming it's one of those things where like it's or the character itself is aware of how its world works,
Right,
and not I wouldn't say it's dismantling, but it's using its own mechanics to its advantage,
right.
like using as to realize what it's trying to do. Like I guess another good example of a good isekai anime that I love dearly, that uses the same kind of like self awareness in
Hmm.
terms of his environment is RE0 or Ray Zero.
Uh huh.
Because remember when he first got there, he essentially just made the whole proclamation like maybe he's some sort of like fated hero to save the world from the demon king, or like he's got like a ultimatum for being there in the first place.
But I feel like that's less like, oh, circumstance calls for it, more that he's just a fucking weeb.
Like in
And
terms of
this is a dream come true for any weeaboo to get transported to another world and becoming the hero.
they're talking about in a sense of RE0 or slime or in
Reason
general.
zero.
Oh, okay.
cause like look at other isekai animes. You got Konosuba, you got
Oh yeah,
Slime, you got fucking
Sao, right?
Sao, you got shit like that where the character goes in and they're not necessarily like, oh, I have to be the hero. It just
Mm-hmm.
kind of it's just kind of thrown at him. I guess not in the case of Slime. He's not the hero yet. If he's
Yeah.
gonna be the hero,
I mean, technically he can't be a hero since he's a monster.
well, he can be a hero. Jomel, don't let's not be racist here.
Racist.
Yeah, let's not
Okay.
be racist.
I'm
Slimes can
I'm
be heroes.
okay. You know what? Yeah. I'm the ignorant. I'm the ignorant one. I should
Yes,
be more.
yeah, absolutely.
I should be more open to the idea that maybe there's some
Fucking
level. What?
fucking vending machines can be heroes, Jomel.
Oh my!
Don't.
Don't get me started on that fucking title. Oh my god! See, this is the weird ones I was talking about. Like, I ran into this specific title in a bookstore. It was called, what is it? I was reincarnated into a vending machine. Now I roam dungeons. Like, this is that's the like pretentious specific title that I had to read, and I'm like, what the hell am I looking at?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's a light novel too, and I kind of want to read it just because I want to see what kind of absurdity I'm getting into. But at the same time, I may just enjoy it because I enjoy slime so much.
Didn't that get greenlit for an anime?
No way, you can't be
I
serious.
I feel like I remember seeing that. I don't know.
There's no fucking way that this got greenlit for an anime. Oh,
I
hold
hope it
on.
did. I fucking hope it did. We need more ridiculous anime, Jamal.
I mean,
We have
see,
a severe lack of that.
there's like a fine line between ridiculousness in terms of entertainment to just like icon levels of ridiculousness.
We need more anime like Icon too. Like, think about it.
Drawn
We,
because of anime like Icon is what I drop because of its absurdity.
but that's fine. We should have these extremes. You know,
I it's extreme. Like we're talking about like outliers of extreme here.
but that's okay. When we push the boundaries in anime, you gain more fans. Because I mean, people like their stories about going to other worlds, and then
Yeah.
people like stupid ideas like you know, hey, what if I was a vending machine but in a fantasy world? Like, you know, it's stupid bullshit like that. It just becomes. It's like humanity. It's like humanity's hubris. You gotta think of something stupid and then put it out there just to see how far you can go.
I think humanity at this point is just bored and just trying to they're literally pulling out random shit in a hat and calling it an isekai story.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm good with that.
And
There's
as far as your last comment, it's not been greenlit so far.
Damn.
Right now, it's all just the light novel as well as the manga.
Oh, I'll read the fucking manga. Speaking of manga, well, actually, I don't know if it was originally a manga or a light novel. Though I'm pretty sure it was a manga. There's this one where I forget the title, but the basic premise is that this kid and his mother are transported to a fantasy world, but he's sucks shit and she's like super fucking OP,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the story. It's just her being OP, wiping out all the dungeons before he can really do anything.
Wow.
And it's shit like that I just need, just asinine ideas. Because I mean, the isekai genres has quite a few has quite a few under its belt. You know, I don't want to say starting back then, but I feel like becoming popularized with
I mean,
dot hack.
have you heard of this one, John? Like, again, this is the exact title I'm reading off of. The hero and his elf bride opened a pizza parlor in another world.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
I swear to God, I thought this was fake at first, but then I looked into it, like, wow, this is an actual publishing that someone put out there.
Nah, people are getting liberated just to put stupid shit out there.
I mean, I get see. Okay, like John, we talked about this a while ago, but there's actually currently another isekai novel I'm actually reading right now called "Didn't I Tell You to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life?"
Oh, you did tell me about that.
And that one is also that one is interesting because of its title. Because I after reading, I finished the first volume, by the way. I already ordered the second and third volume, so I'm gonna start reading on those. But apparently, the whole title is supposed like the whole thing is supposed to revolve around that she wants to be average in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she asked God in this case. But it turns out the way God thought how average was exactly down the middle, meaning that her strength, her magic ability is comparable to like the strongest thing in that world versus the least strongest thing. So an example is that apparently her magic capabilities are as half are exactly half of a elder dragon's, which is
Jeez.
the most powerful thing in that fantasy universe, which already makes you the most powerful human being
Right.
in that universe in that fantasy world.
But it's
And
so fun, Jomel.
you know what? I can maybe I'm being the spoiled the spoiled sport here. You know what? If God forbid vending machine comes out as an anime, you know what? I'm gonna take it as an open invitation, just like how it took Slime as an open invitation,
Yeah.
and I probably just enjoy it just as much as
You
Slime.
should, because it's fucking. It's just dumb. That's it's like.
It spices things up. It spices the whole idea. Cause like
Well,
it's kind of like, you know, if
no,
you
go on.
like it's kind of like if you like, you know, do your whole like bullshit. If you just do like a fuck it all like role like fuck it all character sheet for your D&D adventure, and
Right.
these is what those obnoxious isekai anime worlds would be like. Pretty much like if you took like the weirdest, if you just like got like the most ludicrous kind of stats rolled and just became a ludicrous character in a D&D match, that would be what these like ludicrous isekai worlds would be like. Just kind of fun, wacky, and kind of like out of the mold.
Exactly, and like you said, people will have a shit ton of fun watching and just experiencing it. Obviously, as long as again the writing's decent enough.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I don't know how vending machine is, but I mean, the idea is enough to get you reading. But then as long as the literary art itself is also captivating for you enough to continue to read.
I imagine it probably might be because like you have. I feel like you almost again you have to have a good like strong writing core if you're gonna reach that far.
Of
Because
like
like
absurdity.
right, if you're gonna reach that far in absurdity, if all your dialogue or concepts are stupid, no one's gonna watch it. Like admitted, for example, in terms of like outrageousness, I can, as much as I enjoyed the anime because I'm a pervert that likes anime titties.
Right.
It's awful. It's just an awful show.
Like just
It's
writing and
like
all that.
just writing in general is just bad,
I
like
wouldn't know.
manga included.
I didn't make it past the opening.
It's fucking goofy, Jomo. It's even more so in the manga.
You know, I feel like I should just watch those while high. To be honest.
You should. It's so fucking dumb, but I love it so much. But like I said, it was nowhere near popular outside of the fact that it probably featured uh the current holding world's largest anime tits in one anime. Maybe Queen's Blade holds is first before that, but like it's close. If
Isn't Queen Blade a hentai though, or is that just
no,
really
Queen's
really
Blade
edgy?
might as well be.
Oh,
No,
I
it's
mean,
not that bad. Okay, it's pretty bad, but it's not that bad.
right, exactly.
But it's like I said, you have to have a strong writing core, and so far, I feel that fucking slime anime has great writing. I mean,
Mm.
obviously, other people might disagree or agree. Fuck you if you don't agree, because fucking great anime. If you're not watching it, you're I don't know what you are, but you're not. You're less than filth. Uh, but
All right.
it's just so good. It's just like the the way they because like it's a different kind of perspective it at the same time because we've had anime where it's like again ReZero we use that example he has his real life experience and I guess he's trying to apply it um to uh to this world he was transported to similar
Mm-hmm.
to Kazuto
In Konosuba.
in Konosuba he applies his real
I mean
life
Kazuma.
knowledge. Kazuma, there we go, thank you. A couple others. but like the way he applies his real life knowledge, it's actually it's less real life knowledge and more like
Like it's more practical.
it's more practical. Like I don't even know how I want to say this. Like most main characters in these kind of shows are supposed to be blank slates that you can project yourself onto.
Right.
But he's such an interesting blank slate. Like it's less that you project yourself onto him; it's just more that you can relate with him.
Exactly. Or you kind of want to join him on the journey rather than
Or
like
you
you
want
want to
to
be.
join him instead of just be him.
Exactly.
Because it's like like the little tidbits of like of his thought process of ridiculing people based on how they act, like or like I guess this is a little bit of a spoiler. When he was in the Dwarven Kingdom, this like pompous asshole dude was being a dick, but like he immediately flashed back to like, yeah, I guess in this world they you gotta suck up to your superiors as well and shit like that, or similar situation. But yeah, it was just uh I love it. I don't know, it
Like you
feels
can,
different from others.
yeah, like you can level with him in a sense.
Right.
Like, and I think like, I think so far Slime is like one of the few that has like the main character be like a non-human, for example, like a monster or something.
It's
Because
it's definitely one of the few. In fact, the only other one that I can think of is Overlord.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was just gonna mention that because Overlord so far is the only one that has like the main character be like part of the monster race or something like that.
Right.
And then and the other one I could think of that has some sort of antagonistic persona would be Tanya the Evil,
Yeah, that's true.
because in that case he was using World War like two tactics and like a World War One-esque fantasy world with magic as like an Axis power of like their equivalent German army
Right.
as a little girl.
Speaking of, Tanya the Evil was also really fucking good. Like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
Like I think Tanya's another one of the like another slime character where like you kind of want to join them on their crusade rather than like want to be them.
I don't know if I want to join Tanya.
You would want to rally behind her
I don't know.
and
He's
her
kind of
like
an
parachute.
ass. He's kind of an ass.
I mean, she did like curse out God and all that and spite him.
Yeah, but like,
So that yeah, I can understand where he may be a little unhinged.
but like even then, it's just like he's such a. I keep saying he because it's a guy in a little girl's body, but I don't know.
It's technically a little girl now.
Yeah, technically, but it's still like it. He's still there. It's just that's his body now.
Yeah. So it'll be she though.
Yeah. Okay. She Tanya is fucking. I don't know. That's just someone I would never ever want to meet.
Really?
Less fucking work for.
That's true. But you want to be on the same team as her at the very
Oh
least.
yeah, definitely, most definitely. But like, it's just fucking. Like I pray for more like more and more interesting anime like that because it only again because it pushes the boundary. It makes you have to try to be creative with what you're talking about. Because if it's not creative, then again, it's just stupid bullshit.
True. It's like the cell phone one we were just talking about a while ago.
Yeah,
off
yeah.
recording. And
I don't.
I personally didn't watch it, but I do know that people didn't like it in general.
Right, I didn't watch it at all, but see, that's the thing. It's isekais are a weird thing. Like, there's isekais who's like, yeah, I'll check, or I guess it's just anime in general, but you can get a concept. Everyone knows the idea. Oh, I go to another world and I become super strong or something like that. Overlord does it. Slime does it. Older isekais do it. Let me think.
Dot hack.
Dot hack didn't really do it. He wasn't super OP. He just had like OP circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Sword Art Online.
Well, no, he built his way up. He built his way up from there.
Yeah, but because he was a beater,
Oh yeah, like you're. Sure, he had. Sure, he had an advantage. He's the only one he's the only beater that took the advantage to get to his level. Just saying.
But the anime where they have a leg up
Like a leg. Well,
in
how
some
about
way.
what's it called? Uh, fuck. What's the other one that there was another anime that had the same concept where they got stuck in a video game, but they would slowly turn to NPCs.
Slowly turn into NPCs.
Yeah, if they died too many times, they would slowly turn into NPCs.
Oh, you mean Log Horizon?
Yeah, there you go.
Right, right. I get what you mean. Yeah, that one. All right, so they did start off OP because because when you play an MMO, you're way stronger than all the other regular NPCs because you're an inventor and you get access to all this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So when they got stuck in the world, they were adventurers, so they had all their powers and tactics and shit.
Right.
So yeah, that'd be another good example.
Actually,
So
wouldn't Overlord be also another one?
yeah, I mentioned that already though.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, like as like the starting off as OP.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry,
and
I mind for it. Sorry, go on.
it's all right, but it's a fun concept, but it's like if it's not coupled with something else interesting. So we mentioned the cell phone anime. Again, I also haven't watched it, but I have heard a lot of things about it, and and the reason why people don't like it is because his OP isn't fun. It's like the
Cheating in a sense.
concept is kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's sort of
Uh,
cheating in a sense because there's no build up. Like there's no actual like what is it? I know where you're getting it. Where it's like what makes anime like this fun is the main character adaptability to the new world, right?
right. Yeah, kind of. He's like it. You see their slow adaptation, but in his case, he comes in his whole function is like, oh, because I have this cell phone, I have these powers. I'm like, what?
And it's not like something like this could ever be could not couldn't work. I mean, look at what is it oh, was it Outbreak something? You gotta help me out. You gotta help me out.
Outbreak? What?
Oh, Outbreak Company. Outbreak Company.
Oh, does that count as that doesn't count as an well? It
I
kind of
mean,
counts
it
as
sort of does, as well as
so
yeah,
does
Outbreak
Gate then
Company.
in that case.
Yeah, Gate. Like something like Gate and Outbreak Company has the same kind of similar thing where like technology plays a part in it, and like
Right.
it works in like these circumstances. But in cell phone, it wasn't as like you said, it wasn't as fun for
Well,
him
there
to like.
there there was the case of No Game No Life.
Oh yeah.
They were naturally smart and they essentially carried over all their shit that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess technically, in this case ReZero did the similar thing where because they had a cell phone, they had, this unheard of technology.
Right.
They were able to, one up people. But those are in very specific cases.
That's true, and I think that's why it is too. Like it doesn't center around just that.
Right.
Like it's more. It has to be used as more of a tool, not just its title
The
phrase. Or
point, right.
yeah.
Exactly. And it seems like the main problem is that because the concept of his power was so dumb and it couldn't really be backed up anything else outside of it just I guess yeah, it couldn't be backed up by anything. I mean, it was just a comedy harem, but like haremes can be carried by interesting things. It's just that wasn't interesting,
Yeah.
and his
Exactly.
broken powers just weren't fun.
And like there has to be some. Okay, so it has. I mean, again, granted, everything else has to be. It's all fantasy, but it has to make some level of sense.
Right. That's
Like,
that's another point. If you can
cause
explain to me what's going on, I'm fine.
like did they like again? We both never watched it, but was there any explanation as how he's able to get signal? And that's all fun. And that's all
It
fun one.
wasn't. It didn't See, this is the thing. It didn't function like a regular phone. That wasn't the point.
Oh really?
It did other weird shit. Like it could like summon matter out of the sky and do shit with that.
Oh, so we have a situation where it's like it's not the character. Well, it's also the character, but like you have like a useless character with an OP tool. From what I
Yeah,
can see, where the
I feel
problem
like
is in
he.
this case.
Now again, we mentioned this multiple times because it's only it's a little unfair to judge it because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm only going off of some public opinion about it.
Some public opinion about it. Right, right, right. I don't know if he can do anything if he doesn't have the phone, but it seems like I don't know if there was ever a situation where he lost it and then shit went down.
Right. Because in fair comparison, there's actually another anime that I did start watching a while ago that had very similar circumstances in terms like of the cell phone one.
Mm-hmm.
And this anime was called Hyakuren no How to Sekayu no Valkyria,
Oh,
which
that
is
one, right.
well, the English title for this is the Master of Ragnarok and the Blesser of Einherjar. Jesus, even the fucking English one is hard to read. But point is, it had
It's that weird.
yeah, but it had a similar concept where you have a main character that uses a cell phone as a tool, and but the thing is, in this case, he actually uses it just as a cell phone. Like,
Uh huh.
and they even actually went through the effort of explaining how he gets signal sometimes. So the only way he's able to get signal is by going to a specific pyramid in the kingdom that he rules in,
Mm-hmm.
because like surprisingly there was no origin story in this case. We kind of jump in episode 1 in the middle of a battle with the main character already established as Papa, which is their hierarchical, which is their patriarchy system, where it's like everyone, like the king and all of them, is kind of given like a familial status where Papa is the king, and then you're either a little sister or a either a little sister or a queen of some sort, or
God.
mama. I don't know. It's weird. Like this wasn't even his doing. Like this is the world's way of like monarchy. So, but he was only able to like use his cell phone, in a specific like tower where this like little like metallic dish was emitting a similar kind of signal to that of a cell phone signal or a Wi-Fi signal, for example. And he actually just and he the only time he only uses his cell phone during this time to collect information in terms of how to like strategize battle tactics, like like battle formations. And he's sort of like using like battle tactics from like the Romans, the Persians, and all that in his own battle formations as well. And in this case, the cell phone is not like a cell phone is not necessarily centered around. It's not the center of this entire story. It's
Mm-hmm.
mostly just him doing his thing using a cell phone, because in the reality he's actually trying to like go back to his other world, because
Right.
apparently in the context of the story he actually has gone back in time to some degree, so he's actually in
Right.
the past.
He went quote unquote back in time to when Norse mythology was a thing
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah, exactly. And so he's actually trying to figure out his way by like ruling all of the kingdoms so that he can find a way to get back to his overworld in this case.
Because you totally want to being surrounded by women.
I mean, he apparently I don't know who this character is, but I think he has a girlfriend in the
Oh.
overworld,
Oh,
because
well, I guess that changes things.
every night he always calls this person in the tower, because that's the only way he
Uh-huh.
can get signal. He called,
Right.
and she knows about the situation too. She actually knows about him going to the other world, and they talk so that so she can talk to him, because it's been, I think in episode 1 it's been like a few months or something since he's
Mm-hmm.
arrived. So it's a different way of like spinning the story, that with the character with the cell phone. So I mean, maybe I should check out cell phone, just because like I was actually expecting Valkyria to like have the same kind of like like poor taste when it comes to like a character that uses a cell phone, but in a sense, but it's actually a lot different than I thought it would be. So
Yeah, I did kind of have the same feeling when I first saw it. Which is why I didn't check it out. But based on that, I should check. I should check both out just to get a
the
um,
comparison,
fair comparison.
no, yeah, definitely. But I mean, see, in a situation like this, I feel like isekai anime that has a specific subject, it all depends on how that specific subject is handled. Because like, I mean, I loved Outbreak Company because
Mm-hmm.
of its mix of overworld and fantasy world, and like, meshing of the fantasy characters with like manga or like cell phones or shit like that, or like Gate, for
Right,
example. Gate was a good example of like both worlds colliding cultures in a sense.
right. It definitely was.
So it can be handled poorly, or it can be handled entertainingly, if that's a word.
Yeah, entertain. I don't. Yeah, I guess I don't know if it's a word. It probably is.
It probably is, but like because I mean, my personal experience, I don't really have any bad personal experience with isekai, with the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, actually, do I? Let me see. Let me think that for a bit, because I don't think I've always been fascinated by the isekai genre, just because like it does put you in the shoes of like someone that is literally a new person in this new world.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's that ultimate nerd fantasy of going to that fantasy world. Like, people that like Star Wars want to live in the Star Wars universe. People that like Harry Potter want to fucking be in Harry Potter. Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider Harry Potter an isekai?
Wait, Harry Potter as an isekai?
Would Harry Potter be considered an isekai?
Uh,
I mean, technically, I guess the magic world's been around him the whole time, but at the same time, he was ignorant of it until the first one.
True, but wouldn't like isekai kind of would have to like it would require to have a separate like universe of from the overworld specifically?
Yes, but they practically did. Because you couldn't just go to Hogwarts.
True, that's true. And I guess the
Wait, no,
same.
yes, you could. They flew there. Never mind.
Oh no, you don't have to fly there. There's different ways apparently to go. There's train, boat, and flying dragons.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. I was basing that on the fact that you can't just like say I'm gonna grab a backpack and just walk my ass to Hogwarts, assuming that I have enough survival tactics and rations to make it all the way there.
That's true. But I guess no.
Which you can do.
But I think it's
I
still
guess.
considered though. I think it's still considered isekai, just because just like with Valkyria, technically he's still on Earth, but a different time period. So in this case,
Right.
the wizarding world is visually separated from the Muggle world.
Right. The Muggles have no idea that the magic stuff's going on, so it would
Exactly.
be considered walking into another world with that one.
Because you're indulging yourself with a new culture, new laws, new experiences, completely different from the Muggle world.
Right.
So so there you go. You heard it here first, guys. Harry Potter is technically an isekai series. And to be honest with you, some isekai series don't even have to be that fantastical. Remember that one isekai manga I linked you a while ago?
Which one?
It's called Isekai Nonbiri Nuka, which is the one where after a middle-aged man gets sick and dies, he actually tells God he just wants to be a farmer in a new world.
Oh yeah. I remember you telling me about that one.
Like he doesn't
just slowly elf girls just start showing up to his farm and helping him out and stuff.
Exactly. He's not an adventurer. He just actually started. He just wants to be a farmer, build a small town, so he can live in peace in another world. No, the only thing fantastical about the whole thing is that he has a magic hoe that like is capable of like doing, like God, like in this case, God was so like surprised by his request that he gave him a bunch of benefits. So like he gave him a body that never gets sick, never gets tired. And he gave him like a magical like farming tool that allows him to like dig ditches and dig ditches, cut trees with with very much ease, as well as like being anything that tool like farms on, it will not die out, like it won't be dried out or something. So that dirt will be continuously be fertile. Rejuvenated or fertile. Yeah, it'll always be fertile, and anything he grows using that tool will be rich in resources. So, and I found this to be a really interesting read because it got me so into it. I got so into it. It kind of made me want to like play Minecraft again. Oh, there's another one. Is Minecraft an isekai?
How?
You're in a different world with its different set of rules. With different.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. You're playing a video game.
Yeah, but you're playing, you
if
in
it
first
was
person.
if it was like a deep dive like in Sword Art Online or Excel Saga, then yes. But
I'll follow it then.
Also doesn't count. If it was if it was a deep dive, then yes.
A deep dive. So how deep dive we're talking about?
Your conscious has to be controlling the character.
Oh, we're actually talking about like real like actual tech like a dive system.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Because then you could just say any RPG is an isekai.
How about VR then? Is VR like the closest? Like
It's not. It's close, but not close enough.
not close enough. It's still artificial. It needs
Yeah.
you need to be in that like conscious state.
Right. It's got to be
Organic.
So again, a good example is Sword Art Online because it's a deep dive. Yes, it's still just a game.
Right.
Um,
But it literally puts you in that situation.
it puts you in the game.
Okay. Well, if anybody out there is working on a deep dive tech, well, I don't want to volunteer as a beta tester because that might kill my brain cells.
Yeah, that's
but,
some shit. Yeah.
but I would be happy to be a first purchaser after all the tests, after all the human trials have been successful and all that.
Right.
Because I would. I mean, not even that. Like, what is it? Excel World. I even had something similar to that, where just like it's sort of you kind of just put into a like a I won't say comatose state, but more like a REM sleep mode, and then time just moves faster in game than it does in real life.
Right.
Because I would love that kind of system where like like 2 hours is like 2 weeks in the game. I'd get so much done.
I mean, I feel that's nothing that's impossible.
That's
Maybe.
true. What are you guys? What do you guys think? Listeners out there, what do you guys think? What's your favorite isekai anime series, light novel, manga? There's a whole plethora of them. I'm sure you guys have at least one isekai series you wanna talk about or just fan about.
Oh, I mean, because there are a lot. I mean, there's a lot that you don't think about.
Exactly.
And we'll allow this to extend out to real shows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Harry Potter. We just discovered that Harry Potter is an isekai series,
Right.
so that may be discovery to you. I mean, do you guys agree with us? We think Harry Potter is a isekai series technically by the basic standards of an isekai show or isekai series in general.
I mean, it follows the rules, in my opinion.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you guys want to talk about it, where can they find us around to speak about their opinions?
You can find us on Facebook, the Wannabe Cast on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at what are we on?
At Wannabe.
What's our Twitter handle? At Wannabe.
Yeah, at Wannabe.
Yes, at Wannabe on Twitter. You can watch. You can listen to us on YouTube, or you can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, the Stitcher app, or anywhere else that has an RSS feed or has found our podcast.
And as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for downloading us. We've reached over 700 total downloads because of you guys. Yeah, and just a quick reminder: this as of this recording, I will be in DaishoCon next week, November 16th through the 18th, and I'll just be hanging around, shooting a vlog. And I mean, if any listeners out there are gonna be in town, hit me up, give me a high five. Don't kill me, but if you guys wanna maybe get some have some like inputs about the podcast, maybe you want a one-liner to be put on the next show or next podcast, come say hello, and then I'll have to see. Hopefully you guys recognize me. I mean, I'll post up live updates on the Twitter as well as probably the Facebook as well. So if you guys are following up on us, you can know where I am, and maybe we can just do a little meetup, maybe a little. I can give you my autograph if just being humble and all that, because I do it for the fans, of course.
Hella humble.
Hashtag humble. But I will definitely be out there next weekend, and I'll be so excited to go to my very first DaishoCon up in Wisconsin. So I hope to see you guys there, and we'll have some fun. But as always, guys, my name is Jomel Socorro.
My name is Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.